Okay, so now we look at linear equation in two variables. So I hope by now the distinction between an expression and an equation is clear to children. So an expression is when you have a set of variables that are representing something that can be, so you can substitute different values. So if you write something like x plus y, let's say, or pause it. So I was talking about the distinction between an expression and an equation like x plus y. So here you can put different values of x and different values of y and you can get different results. So this is an expression. This becomes an equation when you have an equal to sign. So if you say this is equal to 10, this is when it becomes an equation. Before that it is an expression. So expressions, you can substitute different values of x and different values of y and you can get different results. So you can first work with expressions even before you go to equations. And you can say, okay, let's take x plus y. Let's put a value for x, let's put a value for y, and let's see what we get. So we'll do a session on expressions with a, let's say, a dot sheet in which you put a value of x. So you say, okay, this I had this variable x. I'm going to put the variable x as a value of 3, and let's say y as a value of 4. Then what does the expression x plus y become? And this, if you use a dot sheet, what you can do with it, sorry, y should have been a different color. If you do use a dot sheet, what you can do is you will be drawing out lines and you will be saying that the lengths of the lines keep changing depending on the values that you pick for x and y, and this gives some idea of length. You can also get into non-linear stuff, so you can say x square is actually a square, whereas 2x is actually a line that is twice as long. So this part we will do in a video on expressions. So there are basically two quantities that when added together give 10. That's what the equation is representing. So you can do the story of I and my brother or sister are sharing 10 chocolates. What will I have? And the thing is, usually children will say 5 each because they want to divide equally. And then you have to sort of get into the story of saying, well, no, it's not necessary. What if I had 4 chocolates? How much does my sister get? If I had 6 chocolates, how much does my sister get? And sort of that sort of conversation can be there. You can also use just 2 bottles are there of water. Together they have 10 liters. So depending on how much is there in one bottle, whatever is left will be there in the other bottle. And I think this one doesn't bring in the sense of, well, the sharing should be equal and so on and so forth. So you can also use that as the situation. So if that's the case, that you have 2 bottles and depending on how much is there in one bottle, together they have 10 liters, then there is no one answer, and I think this is important for children to understand. So there isn't one solution, there isn't an answer to an equation with 2 variables. It's a situation which has many solutions. It can be 5 liters each, so it can be 3 liters in one, for 7 liters in the other, and so on and so forth. So it's actually not a bad idea to get children to write down many of the possibilities. So for example, the children can write down many possibilities, and you can help children understand that these are not exhaustive, because you can get into integers and say, well, what if one is negative? So integers, in terms of numbers, there is no limit to only having round numbers. There's also no limit that it has to be a whole number. It's the amount of water in a bottle. Why will it be exactly 1 or 2 liters? You can have different amount, 1.1, 1.5, 1.7. So decimal, fraction, integers, these are all possible. So there are many solutions to just a simple thing like x plus y equal to 10. And how can we represent these solutions? That's when you can get into graphs. You can say x has one value, y has another value. If I write 5, I don't know if it's for x or y. I want to write for both. So I want to have pairs 5, 5 and 5. 3 is there, then the other one is 7. 4 is there, then the other one is 6. And this is what maps to a graph sheet, a graph paper. So we can map the pairs in the xy coordinate plane in a graph sheet where you have 5, 5 as only one of the points, and you have points that are going up, and of course you'll have points going down. So if you connect them all up, you can see that it's a straight line, and you can say, every time, if you were the original example, every time I increase, I get an extra chocolate, my sister gets one less chocolate. So the slope should go down. So the line should be going down. The line will not go up. Even though I have a plus here, that doesn't indicate the line is going up or down. That indicates that we are sharing. Right? The line is actually going down because we are sharing. Because every time I get one extra, they get one less. And if you want to write it in a way that you can see that, you can say rewrite the equation, because now children are used to the manipulations. And if they are not, introduce them to the manipulations. And here you can see the direction. When you write it as y is equal to something minus x. So for an equation as simple as x plus y equal to 10, you can say, if I have all the chocolates, what does my sister have? So let's say, okay, nothing. So you can just get the intercept points, which means the points in the corner. So this is 10, 0. This is 0, 10. So you just need 2 points and you can get the line. Passing through these 2 points, this being 0, 10, that being 10, 0. So you don't, for many of these, then you can even use GeoGebra. You have done x plus y equal to 10, you can do x plus y equal to 20, x plus y equal to 30. And you can see the intercepts will always keep scaling with whatever is the equation you are writing. So anytime you get an equation, x plus y equal to 30, you should know the line is going down. You should also know that side it will hit 30, this side it will hit 30. When I have 30, the other person has 0. When they have 30, I have 0. So these simple things with the linear equation should be clear.